Fairmont State in white and Bellarmine in maroon, and we're underway with the Fighting Falcons controlling the opening tip.
And one thing you can expect from both these teams is solid man-to-man defense, but a little bit more pressure on Fairmont State. They love to come after you.
Bengaya down low, and he is tied up. The possession arrow will turn the ball over to Bellarmine.
Bellarmine is one of the best and most efficient half-court offensive teams in the country. The question is, what are they going to do with this pressure? You must attack it and go to the basket and make Fairmont State pay if they're going to come after you that hard. Great pass.
There's the cut and the finish by George Knott.
Well, what did Jared Calhoun say when he was talking to Jamie? How good a passing team this Bellarmine team is. That was a terrific backdoor pass.
They average just over 19 assists per game as Bengaya connects from the outside.
But one thing you're going to see about Fairmont State, 11 threes a game as a team. One of the top 5 in the country in three-point makes.
Adam Eberhard at the free throw line and passes it away. A turnover by the Knights.
They will deny everything. They will make it so hard for you. But watch Bellarmine right here. A great job slipping the pick and roll. And that was such a nice pass right there. And then Bengaya, the lefty, can shoot. He's not their best shooter. Actually, that's not the strength of his game. He's more of a slasher and a guy who gets to the free throw line. Only 18 threes before that this year.
Three ball on the way for Wimbush. And he hits from the outside.
Wow. That was deep and contested.
Fairmont State will pressure all 40 minutes, and it leads to a turnover as Bengaya picks off that deep pass. Here's Jolly on the other end for 2.
Now you're seeing how this team averages 96 points a game. They force mistakes, over 10 steals a game. They get after you every possession. They play a lot like West Virginia, where Jared Calhoun was an assistant.
8 straight points in 55 seconds for the Fighting Falcons. And a foul on the perimeter goes against Jason Jolly.
And you know, Andrew, it's not like Bellarmine wants to play slow. They like to play fast, too, just not as fast and as press-oriented as Fairmont State is.
Scott Davenport, his 12th season as the Bellarmine head coach, a 32-3 record this season. One more win would tie the school record as Troutman drives and he is fouled. That one's going to go against Wimbush.
You know, when you see these teams that like to press all over, a lot of times their defensive field goal percentage is not good. And really, Fairmont State's is not. They give up 46%. So a lot of times it's either steal or you got to, if you don't turn it over, you'll get a pretty good shot.
Fairmont State, located in Fairmont, West Virginia, about 20 minutes south of Morgantown, an enrollment of just over 4,000. And it's also the hometown of Mary Lou Retton, legendary Olympian, as Wimbush is on the run. Wimbush is fouled. The Bellarmine fans were looking for a travel, but no call. Fouls on Tyler Jenkins.
Well, these guys will test your transition defense. Well, I thought that was a travel, too.
Andrews Evans spinning, shooting, and it's off the mark. Tipped around and controlled by Bellarmine. 2-on-1 the other way. Eberhard, their leading scorer, at better than 17 points per game. Now it's Troutman from long range, and it's no good. And here comes Montgomery.
This Fairmont State team is very, very athletic. More athletic than Bellarmine is.
Jolly for 3 is way off the mark. And here come the Knights. Al Davis running the break. They work it around to Eberhard. He finds a cutting Jenkins. And it goes out of bounds, back to the Fighting Falcons. Third turnover by Bellarmine.
And that's what they do. They make you play a lot faster than you normally want to play. So right now, I'm looking at Bellarmine playing a little bit too fast for the way they like to play.
Bellarmine with 3 turnovers, just 1 field goal so far. And when we met with Jared Calhoun, the Fairmont State head coach, he said the key to the game was to make them play fast. And so far, they've done that. Bengaya spinning, pulls up, and that jumper is off the mark.
And they got to try and get some easy ones too, which is why pushing the ball up the floor and then taking your time is important, like they're doing right now.
Troutman, 16-footer. And both teams struggling here in the opening moments. Fairmont State started 3 for 3, but since then they've missed 3 consecutive shots. Jolly is fouled. And we have a timeout with 15:57 to go. It's an 8-1 run for the Fighting Falcons, and they have the early lead on Bellarmine.
People, and you showed John McLeod there, who I coached against. He was the head coach at Notre Dame for a number of years when I was the coach at Villanova, so we played against each other a lot. Just a great guy.
One of 29 NCAA head coaches to have played or coached for Rick Pitino. He also spent 10 years as a head coach at Ballard High School, the powerful high school power in Louisville, and a couple of his former players, DeJuan Wheat and Allen Houston. So he's been around greatness his entire coaching career.
And one of the few guys, the only guy that Rick Pitino's ever kept from a previous staff. That's how much he thought of Scott Davenport.
I know you have fond memories with DeJuan Wheat.
Oh boy, yeah, he gave me one that I'm taking to my grave with me. Another one. He gave me one of them in Milwaukee.
There's Davis on the drive. It spins out. Bellarmine scored on its first possession, but since then close to 4 minutes without a field goal.
And that's odd for a team that is so good offensively. And I like the move here, playing a little bit of zone, which they don't do that often.
Offensive foul is called on Wimbush. That's his second.
I think it was a charge.
So Wimbush will exit with 15:27 to go in the first half. Picking up his second foul early. He averages 16 points per game.
Watch his very aggressive press. More of a run and jump, and it was successful. Oh, they got lucky there.
Bellarmine somehow comes away with it, and Troutman lays it in. It looked like that press had forced yet another turnover, but instead Bellarmine breaks its scoring drought. It's a 5-point Fairmont State advantage. Bengaya around Eberhard for 2. Bengaya only played 9 minutes in the Elite 8 win yesterday over Rollins because of foul trouble, but he is their leading scorer at 19 points per game.
How about this kid? Over almost 1,200 points in 2 years, the Southern Miss transfer.
You got to imagine he's pretty hungry after having to watch most of yesterday's victory. Eberhard to a cutting Troutman. Eberhard, their leading scorer, but he's also their leading assist man at just under 4 per game. 5 points for Rusty Troutman. Bengaya inside again for 2, and Bengaya's had the hot hand early. He's got 7. And a strong take by Tyler Jenkins, the junior out of Indianapolis.
And that's exactly what you have to do against that pressure, because all the heat is up front. If you can get into the baseline area, there won't be a lot of help there.
DeAndre Stockman cans the triple. He shoots 42% from deep. He came in when Wimbush had to go out with the 2 fouls. Already the third 3 in the first half for Fairmont State. Eberhard's pass is deflected, and that's the 4th turnover by Bellarmine.
Great defense there by Jolly.
Jolly gets to the hoop, and the reverse lay-in is good. Largest lead for the Fighting Falcons.
And that's the other thing that makes it hard. Because they're attacking you constantly, you're never in really good defensive position. And Bellarmine's a good defensive team. But this pace is really too fast for them.
Troutman misses from the outside. Eberhard, the offensive board, right back into Troutman and the foul. Again, you're seeing the dishing prowess of Adam Eberhard.
Now you're going to see Jolly here, just no help at all because they push the ball down and Bellarmine not in good position. And really, a couple of those baskets that Bellarmine has, Andrew, they look like they're going to be steals, opportunistic baskets. I think, and I saw Jared Calhoun clapping for his guys because that was good defense. Bellarmine got a lucky bounce there and got a layup.
Troutman completes the 3-point play. He's got 8 points to lead the Knights. Into the game now for Fairmont State is Shamgod Wells, school's all-time leader in steals and assists. Jolly deep 3. We have a whistle inside, and that foul is going to go against Bellarmine. And Jarrett Coles picking up his first.
Number 1, Jolly was their leading scorer last night, 28 points, 7 threes in the game against Rollins.
A career high for Jolly, who's listed at 5'7". There you see Jolly, the sophomore out of Ashburn, Virginia. Jolly, great speed. Jolly, corner 3 is good. Jason Jolly's got 9 early points for the Fighting Falcons. He's also got 2 assists as the lead is 10. Inside 12 minutes to go in the first.
And these guys have made 4 threes already.
Wells trying to force the turnover. And a foul is called on Wells, who's grabbing onto his nose and still down on the ground. Double whammy there for Wells, who took a shot and picked up the foul. Jolly's got 9 points and 2 assists, so he's had a hand in 5 of the team's 8 field goals. And Wells is now out of the game getting looked at, but on his feet, and his body language was good as Bellarmine turns it over once again. And the other way, it's Stockman laying it in.
They just have Bellarmine completely out of sorts here. Rushed. Hey, what did Jared Calhoun tell us? Right now, that's exactly what they're doing. They want to make this team play fast.
And that's exactly what's happening.
And they're forced to make catches that are tougher catches than you want to make just a catch.
7 on the shot clock. Eberhard lobs one into Troutman. And to the ground they go in a tie-up. The possession arrow favors the Falcons. Let's check in with Jamie Erdahl.
Andrew, as you mentioned, and as we saw Shamgod Wells hit in the face square on the nose just before that break, he's been at the end of the bench right now just making sure his eyes stop watering. He hasn't received much treatment. Nothing is bleeding, and they are hopeful he returns.
All right, Jamie, thank you. The son of former Providence star God Shamgod, who's now the director of player personnel for the Dallas Mavericks.
He threw a couple on me, too, in Providence, let me tell you. It seems like everywhere I go, I see guys who've gotten me.
Bellarmine with 3 turnovers in the last 4 trips, although that shot won't go for the Falcons, who lead it by a dozen. Davis launches from the outside, no good. Tipped up on the boards and then ripped down by Troy Cantrell.
You could just see it, Andrew, like how fast Bellarmine is playing. And it's like the pace is frantic, which they're not used to, but Fairmont State is.
Nice cut. Stockman is blocked, though. And then a foul is called on the Fighting Falcons.
But take a look at what Fairmont State did there. On a rebound, they stayed to trap the rebounder. Most teams would just run back right away. Great block there.
Ben Wire with the block shot. And that's the 6th team foul in the first half against the Falcons.
You know, Bellarmine, you have no choice playing against this team. You either have to attack or you're going to go home.
Cook to a cutting Troutman. And he's already in double figures with 10 points.
And the one thing that can happen, because Bellarmine's a good team, well coached, they might get used to the speed of the game, but will it wear them out? 40 minutes of this, mentally and physically, pretty hard.
Just past the midway point of the first half, the first Division II semifinal of the night. Stockman catch and shoot. He is deadly from deep, and he hits another three.
I mean, this guy had 86 threes coming into this game.
Wire trying to answer, he can't. And Bellarmine now 0 of 4 from deep. And we've got a foul against Bellarmine. Well, Matt Bengaya set the check back in. He's already been busy with 7 points.
Well, first team All-American makes a three to start the game, and that's not his strength. The strength is doing what you just saw there, that little floater and driving it into the lane. As we said, Southern Miss transfer scored almost 1,200 points in his 2 years here at Fairmont State.
And Al Davis just picked up his second foul, so he goes to the bench for Bellarmine.
That is the worst thing that could happen to Bellarmine. Fairmont
State's bench outscoring Bellarmine 8-0 here in the first. Bengaya right back to work, but it rolls around and out. And then a foul is called on Fairmont State, and that will result in a 1-and-1.
You know, when you play like Fairmont State plays, you're going to foul. And they do foul a lot because that's the nature of the style. Active hands, trapping all over, getting after it.
Ben Wire at the free throw line. He's had a lot of success this year, but he hasn't gone to the line that much. He's 16 out of 19 at the line this year. A 1-and-1. Join us as we showcase 20 of the top senior players in the game with this summer's NBA draft on their mind. Catch the 2017 Reese's College All-Star Game, presented by Walmart, next Friday the 31st, live from the Final Four in Phoenix at 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network. A pair for Wire, and it's an 11-point Fairmont State lead. The Falcons playing in the national semifinals for the first time in school history. Bengaya draws the double, back out Jolly the triple, and their offensive rebound controlled by Andrews Evans.
Which is another thing that they're one of the best in the country at. Almost 14 offensive rebounds a game.
16th best in the country, but they come away empty on that trip. Eberhard the catch, and he missed the lay, and he can't believe there was no foul call.
Tough catch there.
Jolly.
This guy's a jet.
Back out to Montgomery for three. And this time it's Wire who controls the rebound for Bellarmine. Eberhard knocks down his man, and a blocking foul is called on Bengaya.
I think that's a good call. You've got to give him an opportunity to come down. And I think Bengaya was too close to him that time. Yeah, it's too close. You got to give him another step. If he was back another step and that happened, it would have been a charge.
So Eberhard goes to the line for a 1-and-1, and he knocks in the front end.
You know, this free throw shooting and the fact that they're shooting them so early, they're a tremendous free throw shooting team. This is really going to help them.
Bellarmine's 5th best in the country, shooting 79% at the free throw line. Meanwhile, Fairmont State's offense has gone cold. They've missed 4 straight shots.
When they're in the half court, they're not nearly as effective as when this pace is up and down.
Stockman Stockman, though, hits another three. That's his third of the first half.
You cannot lose Stockman. As we said, he came into this game where he's got 89 threes on the season. That is a dead-eye three-point shooter.
He's already got 11 points, accounting for all of the bench points in the first half of the Falcons.
Pretty good guy coming off the bench. I mean, look how they cover up so quick. They're quick.
Jumper by Coles is good. Jarrett Coles, the junior out of Omaha, Nebraska.
They seem to be settling in a little bit lately.
With 7:20 to go in the first, the Fairmont State lead is 10.
You know, the other thing is you can't simulate this kind. First of all, they only had 1 day to prepare. Not even a day, just like 6 hours. You can't simulate this kind of pressure in practice.
They continue to double Bengaya. Tries to get out of it. Finds Stockman. Counted, and the foul. DeAndre Stockman, they call him DJ. And he's been spinning a sweet tune in this first half. He's got 13.
You know, I didn't get a chance to see West Liberty, who beat them twice, but they must be pretty good, I got to tell you.
Well, the Atlantic region had the best win percentage of any region in the Division II NCAA tournament. So it gives you an idea of just how challenging it was and how good Fairmont State is to make it here to the Final Four. Fairmont State has 12 field goals, 10 assists on those 12 field goals, and just 2 turnovers.
There are 302 teams in Division II. You get this far, you've had yourself one tremendous season.
And an offensive foul is called on Bellarmine. That's the second on Jenkins.
That's an easy one. That is a dead charge.
And Al Davis is going to come back in with 2 fouls and 7 minutes to go in the first half.
I think you have to, because if he sits out for all this time and has to come back against this relentless pressure, not having been used to it for a while, I think it could only get worse. Like I said, the hardest thing about playing against this style is you don't see it ever.
Stockman again. He's on fire from the outside. 4 of 4 from deep for DeAndre Stockman. He's got 17 points in 9 minutes. Meanwhile, Bellarmine, 7 field goals and now 8 turnovers in the first half. Jolly the other way for 2. Falcons in a big groove right now. Timeout, Bellarmine.
Really good team is just getting used to playing this pace, and you can't hold it up. There's another turnover.
Bengaya the other way. Has got Jolly in the corner. Tried to find Stockman and gives it right back. So in this game, Fairmont State has 7 threes. Bellarmine has 7 total buckets. Davis won't go. Long rebound, and Bellarmine will have another shot.
And if anybody out there doesn't think that this Fairmont State team could beat some Division I teams in the country, you got something else coming.
Troutman misses from deep, an offensive rebound by Knott. Eberhard has only scored 2 points in the first half.
I can't believe there's only 13 on the shot clock. This hasn't happened very often.
Eberhard dials it up from deep. That won't go. And Stockman has the rebound. 2-on-1 with Bengaya. Hands off to Bengaya. Off glass. Counted, and the foul. 10 straight points for the Falcons. They lead by 20.
Another rush shot. And the other thing about them is there's so many athletes. They all run the floor. And this is what Bengaya does. First team All-American. That's what he does. He is a terrific finisher in transition. He can make a 3, but that's not who he is.
And that foul, Steve, was on Al Davis. So he picks up his 3rd and returns to the bench with 5:20 to go. As you said, a risk they had to take, but not only has Fairmont State gone on an 11-0 run, but Davis just picked up his 3rd. Sometimes you roll the dice and you lose.
Well, they're in trouble as it is. And not so much because of obviously the score, but more because of the way this team is making them play.
That's another turnover. Jolly up ahead. Jolly was looking for a foul, didn't get it. Knights the other way, in desperate need of some offense, and an offensive foul is called on Bellarmine.
And Begaya, that's the second one he just taken in the last 2 minutes, the same way on a pass. He's waiting in the lane when the ball is passed. Well, it was a little bit of a flop. I'm going to say. It was set up the right way, but that was a little bit of a flop.
Bellarmine has turned it over 11 times in this first half. They average 12 turnovers per game.
They're one of the most solid teams in America, but not tonight, not against these guys.
14 points off turnovers for the Fighting Falcons. They lead it by 21. During this 11-0 run for the Falcons, Bellarmine has turned it over 5 times. 5 on the shot clock. Begaya has to put it up. He does, and it's off the front of the rim and tipped out into the hands of Brent Bach. Bellarmine hasn't scored in over 3 minutes. Triple for Bach is no good. The rebound tipped around. Begaya has it, pushes it up ahead to Jolly. The lob and finish for Andrews Evans.
This is West Virginia at their best. Fairmont State. We talked about how Coach Calhoun was a Bob Huggins disciple, and he worked for Coach Massimino, I worked for, but Coach Massimino didn't play like this. I'll tell you that right now.
Finally, Bellarmine stops its scoreless drought with Jarrett Coles laying it in. That ends a run of 13 straight points by Fairmont State.
Every possession is an adventure.
It's a Bellarmine team that shoots 42% from deep, but so far tonight they're 0 of 7 from beyond the arc.
Everything out of rhythm. No rhythm whatsoever.
Montgomery's 3 no good. Fairmont State crashing the boards. They get it back. Montgomery is blocked. Out of bounds to Fairmont State. Well, the Falcons have been flying high in 18 seconds. The Falcons have dominated this first half with 3:12 to go.
I mean, besides the great defense, they only have 3 turnovers. Besides the great three-point shooting.
14 assists in the first half for the Falcons. An illegal screen is called against the freshman Andrew Emmerich. First foul on Emmerich. Third meeting between these two programs. They met in both 2013 and 2014, and Bellarmine won both with the same head coaches, Davenport and Calhoun. Bellarmine still 0 for the outside, as this time it's not missing from deep.
And you made the point already, Andrew. They are one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country at 42%, and they can't buy one. But that is because, and that was an open one, it's because they're so out of sync and sped up that nothing is comfortable. Even when they're open, they're not comfortable.
Deep 3 for Emmerich is no good with the shot clock winding down, and Eberhard corrals the rebound. Eberhard still with just 2 points and 4 turnovers as Knott gets it to go. George Knott, the senior out of New Albany, Indiana, attending Providence High School. Fairmont State still has a timeout to use here in the first half if they so choose, with 1:38 to go. Jolly step back 3. The rebound to Wire and numbers for the Knights.
Great transition defense. Andrews guarding the guard.
That one's kicked. by Andrews Evans. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover and the gang back in New York will get you set on all the night's Sweet 16 action at the Kansas City and San Jose Regionals. Plus, we'll interview D2 Men's Basketball Selection Committee Chairman Jeff Wilson. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Good cut there. Count it, and the foul for Knott, who's provided a bit of a spark in the last couple of minutes. Second foul on Bengaya.
Well, that's a terrific cut right there. Jolly gets caught with his head. He got caught a little lazy that time.
Knott misses the free throw with 1:10 to go. 6 straight points for Bellarmine. Stockman has had a huge first half, looking for more. Good defense as Eberhardt came out on him. And now 8 to shoot. Bengaya. 3 by Montgomery is good. That kind of half for the Falcons, as the Bellarmine bench can't believe that one went in.
I thought they were getting a stop there. I was just getting ready to say this is a good defensive set for Bellarmine, and it goes in the basket. Another steal.
And they turn it over with 25 seconds to go. Fairmont State can hold for the final possession of the half, and Jared Calhoun will call timeout with 20 seconds to go.
There's a reason why they're the 1 seed.
In this first half, the Falcons have shot 52% from the floor, 15 assists, and 8 three-pointers.
And 4 turnovers.
8 seconds to go. Stockman's had 17 in the first half. Bengaya, deep 3 is an air ball, and Jared Calhoun's not happy. Said I didn't call timeout to draw that up. 0.4 to go.
To have one of my worst three-point shooters take a flyer from deep and not hit the rim. No, not what he wanted.
Eberhardt throws it to midcourt. Wire puts it up, and that will do it. Fairmont State with a...
Also gave me for being down 20 at this point is they hit 8 threes. We had 12 turnovers. But in terms of not being able to hit a long-range shot for Bellarmine at this point, he likes the look, so he wants them to keep taking them.
All right, Jamie, thank you very much. Troutman had 10 points in the first half, but all 10 in the first 10 minutes. And now we have a foul on the perimeter that goes against the Falcons.
And they got to get Eberhardt going. Eberhardt is their leading scorer, over 17 a game, does not have a field goal in the first half.
Fouls on Trevor Andrews Evans of the Falcons.
It'll be interesting to see. There's a layup.
And Eberhardt is fouled hard by Bengaya.
Well, Andrews Evans slipped. And that's what happened. You'll see it right here. And Bengaya sees it late. I don't know why he's upset. Kid slipped.
That's the 3rd foul on Matt Bengaya. As we told you earlier, he only played 9 minutes in yesterday's Elite 8 win over Rollins because of foul trouble. And for now, it appears that Jared Calhoun's going to keep Bengaya on the floor.
Yeah, he should come out. You're up 18 points in a national semifinal, and your leading scorer's got 3. You got to take him out. First of all, what's wrong with DeAndre Stockman? So you go small, you bring him in the way he's playing.
17 in the first half for Stockman. Wimbush would turn the shot clock. Jolly on the wing. 3 to shoot. Montgomery puts it up, no good. And it comes back to Montgomery in a fresh 30. He doesn't need it. Drives right in. Tipped by Bengaya, no good. And Bellarmine without Davis takes it away.
You know, it'll be interesting if they have the same hop in their step in the second half. Fairmont State.
Davis playing with 3 fouls. In the lane. Puts up a shot and hits.
And Shamgod Wells is coming in. I don't know if he's going to be coming in for Bengaya. Bengaya's a slasher, too. You know, he doesn't want to pick up that 4th foul now with a charge.
First field goal of the night for Al Davis. Jolly Feeds it inside to Andrews Evans. He goes up strong, no good, out of bounds to Bellarmine.
Whenever you're down big, Andrew, you got to play it 4-minute spurts. If they can get this thing at the 16 mark down to 12, and then look at the 12 mark to get it down to 8, that's how you have to look at the game.
You saw Bengaya come out with the 3 fouls. It's a 10-3 run for Bellarmine going back to the end of the first half. And they scored 2 more with Davis.
Now they're starting to get into a little flow, and I don't see the same intensity of the pressure by Fairmont State right now.
Here's Wells. Now Jolly with 7 to shoot. Takes the screen. Jolly over to Wells. Deep 3. No good, and the rebound to Eberhard. And then knocked out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Knights. And Jared Calhoun has called timeout. He doesn't like what he sees from his team so far. With 4 minutes to go in the first half, and now the lead is down to 14. Eberhard fouled, and he will go to the free throw line. Eberhard still without a field goal, but he'll go to the line for the 5th time.
Well, that was a really good pass and a good cut by Eberhard. And George Knott, one of those guys who does the little things, makes a very nice pass there.
Eberhard 4 of 4 from the line tonight, and he's 86% on the season.
I was going to say it's time for the microwave to come in.
I guess you've nicknamed Stockman the microwave, huh? Instant offense off the bench. He had 17 in the first.
Heats up quick.
Yep. Eberhard 1 out of 2. He's
very
got 5
small
points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Very small team in right now for Fairmont State. Small.
Wells left open for 3. And Bellarmine takes it away. Down by 13. Fairmont State still scoreless here in the second half. The cut? No, they wave it off. And they say the foul was on the Falcons on the floor before the shot by Rusty Troutman.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Second foul on Jolly, already the team's 4th here in the second half. So again, the foul's piling up as that 3 won't go, and it's cleared by Fairmont State.
I mean, Troutman is one of their best players. I don't like that shot. I think a little more patience there. I think driving the ball now is the way to go against Fairmont State.
Jolly in and off the front of the rim, trying to get the rebound. He does not, but his teammate Montgomery grabs it. And now Stockman heads off to Jolly to reset.
This is a really small team for Fairmont State.
0 for 7 this half for Falcons. Still scoreless after intermission. Wimbush takes the 3. Now he'll take it. Now they're 0 for 8. And in the corner, it is Falcons basketball. Call. Last touch by Rusty Troutman, and a substitution for Bellarmine as Cook returns and Knott goes to the bench. See the second half. 0 for 4 from deep for Fairmont State, but for the game, Bellarmine still 0 of 9 from deep. Stockman misses. But then we have a whistle and a foul down low. It was actually Jenkins who missed for Bellarmine, and then another foul on the Falcons.
Well, this is good hands here on Wimbush trying to go up with it.
Foul was on Stockman.
Yeah, it's a foul.
And it sends Jenkins to the free throw line. A 10-0 run for the Knights to get back in this one.
And we said, Andrew, 12 with the under 16. They got a shot at being down 11 or 12. if they can get a stop here. Good move, too. Scott Davenport. He gets Al Davis out of the game, who's got the 3 fouls. They're going to play defense, and then you're going to get the media timeout.
Nine points this half for Bellarmine out of the gates to cut it down to 11.
This is a big possession here.
Charlie left alone in the corner, and he hits. First points of the second half for the Falcons.
And they have Bengaya in the game with 3 fouls.
Cook had it taken away. Here comes Bengaya. Oh, low, the flush.
That was a really bad pass. You cannot telegraph passes against these guys. You got to fake every pass. They're so aggressive looking for steals. Fake your passes and you'll get to throw it wherever you want.
A dozen for Bengaya. Bellarmine breaks the press. Everhard for 3. Still without a field goal. He's 0 for 3. Wimbush on the attack. And he is fouled. He'll go to the line when we come back. Well, Matt Bengaya with the run-out dunk for the Falcons, who have scored 5 straight points to try to build back that lead. It's 16.
Guy and Bob Huggins is more of let's get in your face full court. So you take the best of all those things. 2 great mentors to have.
And his associate head coach, Paul Molinari, who was a student manager when you were at Villanova as an assistant.
Yes, Luca was a manager. We called him Luca, I'm sorry. Paul Molinari, but he was a manager when I was there as an assistant coach. He helped me a lot. Cut my grass, did a lot of good things for me.
I mean, that's how he cut his grass.
He did. You know, we were working all the time. I couldn't cut the grass.
Well, he's obviously done very well for himself here in the semifinals of the Division II tournament as Bellarmine finally hits their first 3 of the game. Jenkins knocks it down. Jamie Erdahl caught up with Paul Molinari yesterday.
I did, and we learned a little bit more than him just cutting your grass, coach. We also heard that, you know, when you're a young assistant coach, especially for Rolly Massimino, you're kind of lacking sleep. So when you go on recruiting trips, you have student managers like Molinari drive you to the recruiting trips just so Steve Lapis could nap in the back. That's a pretty good life, I think.
He did drive me a lot, I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I was tired. My wife, Harry, was pregnant with my daughter, Kristen, and, you know, I mean, it was, he helped me out.
Well, he also let the cat out of the bag that you had some hazing when you were an assistant coach and you had to sing songs for the team, and you were pretty good at My Girl. How about that?
Everybody that was new had to sing a song, all the freshmen, the new coaches, whoever. But for some reason, Coach Bass liked the way I sang My Girl, and he made me sing every year I was there. I was only supposed to do it once.
So can we get a little
No,
sample?
we're not getting any sample.
No sampling. Eberhard's first field goal, and the lead is 13 for Fairmont State.
You know, you find out a lot about me on these telecasts.
We do. We've got a whole book on you now. Bengaya with 6 on the shot clock gets through the defense and scores.
So quick on the baseline there. You can see why he's such an effective inside scorer.
He's got 14 points with 13:25 to go. Here's Davis from the free throw line. Rattles in. 6 points for Al Davis.
That was picture-perfect attacking of the press. Getting the ball up the side and then right away to the middle of the floor, which is what you want.
Six to shoot. Wimbush, nice one. Oh, wow. That would have been something.
That was a good move. It was a heck of a miss. That's what you call throwing it down hard. So hard that it went out of bounds. You got to throw it down pretty hard for that to happen.
See if Wimbush gets another chance later. This half, Bellarmine's 5 out of 7, but they turn it over. Up ahead, it is Stockman. Count it, and the foul. DeAndre Stockman having a night for the Falcons.
You know, Andrew, they just wear you out, you know, because it's like a relentless. You might get it up a couple of times, 2, 3, 4 times and score. But guess what? They keep throwing it at you, and that's one of the philosophies of teams that like to press like this. Yeah, you may break it. Yeah, you may score. But guess what? 40 minutes of this, you can't take it.
Stockman has 19. His career high is 22, so he is inching closer, has a chance to complete a three-point play. With 12:37 to go.
What a game for this kid, though, huh?
20 points for the junior out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Began his career at Division III Marymount. Spent 2 years there. Wanted to move up a level, so much so that he's a walk-on here at Fairmont State. Jenkins. And a whistle inside. They called it late. And that will go against the Falcons.
And you can see Bellarmine's got a great plan for attacking the pressure. They get the ball to the right places. It's just a matter of whether they can not throw it away.
That is the 4th foul on Matt Bengaya with 12:24 to go.
Well, he's going to sit for 8 minutes. Foul trouble yesterday, too.
Only played 9 minutes yesterday because he picked up his 4th foul early. And here today picks up his 4th foul with still plenty of time to go.
You got to stay away on that. It was not a good foul. He says it wasn't a foul, but he shouldn't have been there is the point, to allow that to happen.
Jenkins misses the second free throw. 12:20 to play. 19 points off turnovers for Fairmont State in this one. And they've created 14 Bellarmine turnovers. Stockman. Dangerous. And we'll bounce it back out to Wimbush. Nice find. Down. Andrews Evans is tied up, and he will go to the line. Fouls on Tyler Jenkins. That's his 3rd. So Andrews Evans will get 2 free throws, the senior out of Logan, West Virginia. You can catch the NCAA Division II Women's National Championship tomorrow night at 7 Eastern from Columbus, Ohio. It's Virginia Union against the top seed Ashland, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. You heard Jamie's interview at halftime. Next year, the Division II men's and women's tournament will be together here at the Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Davis for 3. It's good. The lead is 12. Two threes this half for Bellarmine after they didn't have any in the first half.
And the more you make this team set up, the better it is for you.
All 9 of Davis's points have come after halftime. Jolly. His pass is picked off and he turns it over. Bellarmine racing up ahead. It's Jenkins through the hoop hole by Wimbush. Everhart gets it back and missed, but not the second time. And it's a 10-point game.
All of a sudden, they've got Fairmont State standing around a little bit, playing in the half court. That's Bellarmine's game.
A 13-5 run for the Knights. Stockman catch and shoot for 3. Way off the mark, but Everhart lost it out of bounds. A timeout with 10:45 to go. Louisville, where Bellarmine has had a lot of people come. Some flew. There was a bunch on our plane ride coming here, but a lot elected to drive as well. Wimbush for 3. It's good. Tough shot out of the timeout.
He's tough. He's athletic. There's another guy, if he's 2 inches bigger, he's playing in Division I without question.
Senior out of Lorain, Ohio.
And that's the only difference, really, is a couple of inches on each guy.
Davis gets to the hoop. Bellarmine has won 19 straight games, the longest active streak in Division II. Down big in the first half, trying to make a comeback as we approach the midway point of the second. Wimbush again too strong, tipped out, and that will be Falcons basketball.
You're going to see Davis go down the middle. Shamgod Wells gave a little fake, hoping that he would give up his bounce, but he didn't.
Wells inbounds to Montgomery. Wimbush guarded by Knott, and Knott with the foul. 9:51 to go. Team foul number 4 against Bellarmine. Scott Davenport, 9 years as an assistant at Louisville under Denny Crum and Rick Pitino. They have a great relationship, Bellarmine in Louisville. Their players will play pickup games all summer long. They exhibition against each other. Louisville, very strong basketball community. And they like the horse racing, too.
Yes.
And that's the 4th foul on Tyler Jenkins. So Jenkins has to come out. Really good that time. Called for the offensive foul. And that's his 3rd.
That was a good job helping on defense and seeing. Secondary defender gets in there and does a good job. Al Davis taking the charge.
Bellarmine struggling with the pressure, and now a timeout is granted to the Knights. With 9
The full aggressive full court press.
Jamie, what'd you hear during that last timeout?
Hello, Scott Davenport just making sure that his guys get back to the fundamentals, like blocking out when Fairmont State has the ball. He told us yesterday, too, that this game, they can play as fast as they can, but it's about who's going to make the best decisions. He was pleading with his guys to stay smart.
Troutman hits the 3, and it's the first time the deficit has been single digits since there was 8:05 to go in the first half. It was 27-18 at that time. It's an 8-point lead. And Troutman has his first points in 21 minutes of game action.
Oh, big time shot there.
Wimbush answers.
The big difference is the press not quite as aggressive. Bellarmine not turning it over nearly as much. Much more under control. Not in a frantic pace like they were in the first half.
Wimbush into double figures with 10. Davis guarded by Wells. Troutman inside again. His points seem to come in bunches. He scored 5 in a row.
What a great cut and a great seal up in the paint by Troutman, and Eberhard finds him.
Montgomery for 3. Big shot again for Fairmont.
That was a big shot.
11 threes in this game for the Falcons. That's what they average per game. Davis on the other end. Davis blocked by Andrews Evans. Second in school history in block shots. And then a foul is called on Stockman. And that will send Bellarmine to the line for a 1-and-1. When we come back, it'll be Bellarmine at the free throw line. Rusty Troutman and the Knights trying to lead the comeback. Well, he's moving closer to a triple-double. He's got 9 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. 1-and-1, and Coles makes the front end.
Well, he's their best player. In the first half, he was not really there. But now that the whole team is in a better flow, he's a big part of that flow.
Sophomore out of Evansville, Indiana. MVP of the Great Lakes Valley Conference Tournament.
And every time they get fouled, that's good for Bellarmine because not only do they shoot the free throws, but they get to set up their defense.
Jolly, Bengaya, Stockman, those three combined for 38 in the first half for the Falcons. They have just 10 in the second half.
Well, Bengaya picking up that fourth foul was a big mistake.
Wimbush, tough turnaround jumper. Andrews Evans, though, gets the offensive rebound.
And that was after getting boxed out the way he needed to be boxed out.
He had 7 offensive rebounds yesterday in the Elite Eight victory against Rollins.
And Ben Ware did a good job, but he just was too athletic for him.
Jolly gets to the hoop for 2. Well, Fairmont State's had the answers here
every time
after Bellarmine has scored. And it goes out of bounds, and a turnover by Bellarmine.
They were thinking Cole's got fouled there. Yeah, he's got his hand on his back. That's a foul. That's a foul.
15 turnovers in this game. Just 3 in the second half for Scott Davenport, but a tough one there.
That's how they've gotten back in it.
Wimbush just forces up a shot, fouls it up and nearly put it in, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Falcons.
He thought he was going to get fouled on the shot then when he gave the shot fake, but nobody was near him. I tell you, he gets up. It's a high flyer.
Jolly looking to Calhoun, his coach, to set up this offense as we approach 6 minutes to go. Jolly feeds Andrews Evans down low for 2. How'd he find him? Jolly has 4 assists and just 1 turnover. That one was deflected, no backcourt. A 13-point Falcon advantage as they try to advance to Saturday's national championship game on CBS. Davis. Here's Eberhardt, just 3 on the shot clock. Coles puts it up.
I'm surprised Eberhardt didn't shoot that. He was open, shot clock winding down, best player.
And Wimbush goes into the Bellarmine bench, and a foul is called.
Yeah, that is a foul. It was a foul before he ended up on the bench.
Fouls on Ben Wire, the freshman out of Fort Thomas, Kentucky. Jolly had it poked away and commits his second turnover. Numbers for the Knights. Davis to Coles, hands off to Eberhardt for 2.
They forced a couple of turnovers themselves in the second half.
A double-double for Eberhardt, 11 points, 10 rebounds. He also has 8 assists. Jolly with 8 on the shot clock, and he stepped out of bounds. Back-to-back turnovers for Jason Jolly.
This tempo has been much better for Bellarmine in the second half, and that's why they've done a much better job. Great adjustments by Scott Davenport at halftime.
You just wonder if Bellarmine has confidence shooting the 3. Only 3 of 14 tonight. They have really struggled from outside the arc. Will they hit a couple of 3s down the stretch?
That was a terrible pass. Again, another telegraph. Fake your passes. When you play a team this aggressive that goes after steals, if you just fake high, the whole team will jump high. Fake high, throw low, fake low, throw high.
And now with 4 minutes to go, Bengaya at the scorer's table. He'll come back in next whistle with the 4 fouls.
I can't tell you, it's the most important thing when you play a team that's this aggressive for steals to fake your passes.
5 to shoot. Wells finds Stockman for three, and it's good. And DeAndre Stockman has a new career high with 23 points.
You drive and penetrate, you leave the best shooter on the court alone, and he knocks it out like it's a layup.
The lead back up to 14. First three this half for Stockman. Wire for three, and he answers from the corner, and Scott Davenport immediately 61. Tonight, down by as many as 23. They've cut it down to 11, but time is running out as we approach 3 minutes to play.
And interesting that Fairmont State deciding to slow it up. There's still plenty of time for Bellarmine if they can get a stop, especially if they only have to guard for 10 seconds.
5 to shoot. Wimbush aggressive, and he travels.
I think they're discussing whether he got fouled and that's why he traveled. I can't imagine what else they're talking about. No, that wasn't a foul. And now you're Bellarmine, attack. Now you've got nothing to lose. You got 3 minutes to go down 11. You need to attack a little bit more with the dribble, and they're going to need to make up. Oh, that was bad.
Steal and a foul. Wimbush, great defense. He's really had a great second half for Fairmont State.
Well, he's so athletic. He's got long arms. Look how he pokes his hand right in there. That was a big play right there.
It's a 1-and-1 for the Falcons. Wimbush, a 72% free throw shooter. Coming up next, catch up to the minute press conferences and coverage from the remaining tournament teams live on NCAA March Madness 360, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Wimbush has 9 of his 12 here in the second half. Makes both free throws at 75-62. Davis, Shamgod's all over him. 2.5 to go. Wire for three. It's short. Into the corner. Wimbush tracks it down. Wimbush brings it up the floor. Wimbush hands off for Andrew Evans, and a foul is called. A push inside against Eberhard.
Wimbush has shown a lot in this second half. Handling the ball, athletic.
So Andrew Evans, the senior out of Logan, West Virginia, at the free throw line. .2:15 to go.
You got to just attack now.
Eberhard, tough shot, no good, and a foul over the back as Wimbush went for the rebound. Thomas Wimbush has been everywhere here in the second half.
Yeah, he's been dominating this game. He's not the biggest guy on the court, pretty close, but he is by far the most athletic.
Had a double-double in the Elite Eight yesterday with 15 points and 10 rebounds. 7 of those 10 rebounds were on the offensive glass.
And you can see why this team is such a good offensive rebounding team. I mean, they average over 13 a game, one of the tops in the country.
Bellarmine averages 82 points per game. Just 62 with 2 minutes to go. What a great job Jared Calhoun's Falcons have done on the defensive end. Certainly turning up the pressure, leading to 17 Bellarmine turnovers. Wire blocked. by Binkaya.
When they needed it, their athleticism and their defense was there.
A 14-point lead for the Falcons as they inch closer to their first ever appearance in the national championship game.
And it doesn't look like they're going to foul.
Montgomery's out of bounds.
I think if it was me in a national semifinal, I'd have given it one shot with 1:45 to go to foul. I mean, you know, it's not. I mean, it's probably over, but might as well give it your last-ditch effort.
Eberhard to Wire. It won't go. Wire gets his own miss and puts it back up and in. Only one timeout left for the Knights.
Yeah, that was double dribble. He dropped the ball, which is a dribble, and then he dribbled it again. Scott Davenport was going crazy.
Montgomery for three, and that could be the icing on the cake for Fairmont State. Their 13th triple of the night with less than a minute to go. Troutman to Eberhard, who is still just one assist away from a triple-double. It would be the first triple-double in the Elite Eight since 1986. Travis Smith at Sacred Heart.
The bottom line was this team was too athletic, and what they did in the first half just completely took Bellarmine out of their game.
Wimbush deep three. Final 15 seconds. Eberhard the putback for two. But they won't foul. The Fighting Falcons of Fairmont State fly into their first ever appearance in the National